Good morning, Monli.
Yes, yes.
Good morning to everybody else who's joining us for the KZ, the Internet Society South Africa chapter, KwaZulu-Natal Open Day. Good morning, Stimbiso, Ignatius, Kopano, and Letitia. And good morning, Mondli. So I don't know, Mondli, how you want to do this. Should I do the rundown that we did in the Gauteng one, just basically going over the chapter's online infrastructure and then leave it to you to tell us about the plans in KZN?
All right. Okay. Yeah, you can do
Okay.
it right. That's fine.
All right. All right. Thank you. Let me just share my screen then. Where is it? There you go. Okay. Please let me know if you can still see the screen.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Uh, so again, welcome to the Internet Society South Africa chapter open day. My name is Godishang Twane. I'm the secretary within the chapter, and today we are hosted by Mondli from KZN, who's leading things up for us in KZN. But before he gets into his session, we just wanted to share the chapter's website, which is internetsociety.co.za. Might be moving to .org.za, but of course we'll just put a forwarder on the domain for that. On our homepage, you'll see some of our partners and initiatives that we take part in, and some of the projects that we did in 2024. Uh, but most importantly, the current one that we are running is called Tech Bridge. We started it on the 15th of November. It's ending in January 31st. If you click on this banner for Tech Bridge, it will take you to the Tech Bridge section where it shows the courses about Tech Bridge and the course leaders. We'll provide a link for this later, but more importantly, also under About Us, you get a tab for the executive members. We've got our chairperson in absentia, Ms. Togomia, but she's going to be hosting next week our Internet Society South Africa chapter Western Cape Open Day. She's going to be running that for us. And then our deputy person is Mr. William Stachi. He's been in the telecom space since forever, but more prominently from 1997. You got myself, Godishang Tswane. I'm just the secretary for the chapter. I'm in the ICT space, primarily focusing on ICT consulting, web development, and corporate identity work. And then you have Mondli Mue. He's a technical administrator at Hashtag Design. Works closely with the universities that the chapter works with and plays a very, very big role for the chapter in KZN. After that, you've got Mr. Sean Courtney, previous chairperson for 2022, 2023, ISSAC president, so he's a former chairperson of the chapter. He works a lot in the DNS space and he runs a ISP, if I'm not mistaken. And then after that, you've got Dr. Mo Manda. Uh, he's also currently teaching, I think, at VETS and holds a PhD in information systems. And you have Mr. Jody Daniels, a seasoned professional marketer and business strategist in the West, who's based in the Western Cape, uh, who's also a member of the chapter's executive. And then we have also here in the room Mr. Stembiso Kagaza, the founder of Youth Empowerment Movement. That's YEM Online Education. He always contributes towards skills development and empowerment of young people through various 4IR, 5IR courses and interventions. And he's been a leading catalyst when it comes down to youth development within the ICT space in the country. And then after that, we have Mr. Roland Gessler, another ISP. He's been in the industry from 1995. He's based in the Western Cape, primarily looking at emails and domains and so forth. So that wraps up the executive members that we have in Internet Society. And hopefully we'll have executive members representing each and every province. Ideally, we need one executive member in each province. So a link will be provided while Mondli is speaking. I'll add the links into the chat. We also can be found on Facebook. There we go. This is our Facebook page. Let me zoom in a bit more for you to see. So this is us on Facebook. The handle for Facebook is at Internet South Africa. So you can find us there. We normally publish events that are upcoming and updates also there and videos and so forth. We're also found on X, formerly known as Twitter. The hashtag there is InternetSA92. All these hashtags I'll add into the description. Into the comments of this chat so that you can have them. If you're a fan of using X or Twitter, you can find us there and engage with the chapter there. Also, we have a YouTube channel on YouTube. So the hashtag there is at ISSAC92. You can find latest videos. The one from last week's ISOC Gauteng Open Day, we had it up there. And then we have all our trainings like your tech bridges, universal acceptance, and so forth. All the videos from the chapter can be found on this channel. Lastly, but not least, of course, we have the annual report. So I'm just flying by. I just want to start it off properly. We have the annual report for Internet Society South Africa chapter. That's from January to December of 2024. From there, you'll get to see the introduction about the chapter. Again, the same executive members are highlighted in this report. And then also it starts going through the events that we did. I'm not going to go into too much detail because of time, but then just know that we did do the ZAI, we were involved in ZAIGF, Universal Acceptance Day. We did a Girls in ICT Day. We did a DDCN, which stands for Designing and Deploying Community Networks training. We also had a National School on Internet Governance online course and physical, sort of like a hybrid course. Also in June, we also did a Women's Digital Empowerment Expo. Moving on, we were part of the official South African National School on Internet Governance that happened in October. And then we also had our Global Encryption Day last year. Moving on from that, we had our Zilbecom Agriculture and Business Expo. And then we closed off the year by launching TechBridge on the 15th of November. Drawing your attention, rather, to the future projects that were earmarked for 2025, 2026. In the first quarter, we are going to be dealing with the ISP training. In the second quarter of the year, we're going to be dealing with the KwaZulu-Natal Community Network Project. The third quarter of the year, we're going to be doing webinars across the country covering computer literacy, computer networks, cybersecurity, and online presence. And then in the last quarter of the year, we're going to be doing a community network research paper as a chapter. So, of course, this wouldn't be possible without our partners. This is some of them. I know I couldn't fit them all on one page because there's more. But then, and then that concludes the report for 2024. But then this will be made available to you. Just all you need to do is drop your email address and then I can send it to you. But most of you in this meeting, I do have your WhatsApp contact details. I'll send it to you if you don't have this report already in hand. Of course, after Mondli gives the introduction for KZN and what their plans are, I'll come back in and speak about the funding areas before we wrap up the meeting. And with that said, I'd like to hand over the reins back to Mondli.
No, thank you so much, Korishan, and welcome, guys. Welcome, Nomalungelo as well. Yeah, for us, as you saw as well when Korishan was doing a rundown, um, the most important thing is to actually grow members, members that are, forming is, part of the organizational group. At the current moment, our issue is just getting people that can work with, you know, the group that is currently organizing events within the Internet South Africa chapter within KZN. So we do have, a WhatsApp group that we communicate via, anything that we do as the chapter with the secretary and also with the leaders of the chapter. So if I could just go back, last year we successfully hosted, the events such as, Global Encryption Day. We had stakeholders from, BizFarm and who came in and just spoke about the importance of, incubation as well as encryption. We had different speakers as well. That was done, remotely, uh, based on the fact that some of the logistics were not, in line. And yeah, we've been working mostly with DUT, which is the base of the events that we've been doing. Global Encryption Day. We did, also the, I think GED, and not GED, we did, um, yeah, we did this, so let me just see it.
While Mongi is looking there, they did internet governance also.
Internet, yeah,
They
we did,
helped host the stuff that we did with the DDCN training. They also helped to bring these opportunities, the online course learning opportunities to their members in KZN. But for internet governance, they hosted their own remote hub also. Yeah,
yeah.
sorry about that.
Sorry, thank you. So we did remote hub for the internet governance, which we think it ran smoothly as well. We had members, probably like over, I think, 30 members that were coming in and out, mostly, but it was challenging just to get people to, be in the room and grasp what the Internet South Africa is all about. Even the Internet Governance event was quite challenging for those who were staying because of the terms that was, spoken about. Uh, but the aim for just this year is to make sure that we continue working with the stakeholders that we've been working with, but also growing, the stakeholder engagement or just relationship. As we have identified, there's an ICT organization that is around KZN that has facilities, to host, practical sessions. If you're doing tech bridge, for instance, as an example, and as well as community network projects where we're looking at strengthening, other areas and reaching maybe schools, different in different areas like Mkandla as well, like where Nomalungelo is also based in Richards Bay. And we have also looked at how we can strengthen, some stakeholders that can help us, to make sure that every organization, every event that we organize has, some like seamless, setups, and we are able to do more than just, hosting events where we look at all those who have been will be part and parcel of the events benefit not just by attending, but also just benefit from, the skills, and then they can apply those skills. So we, we're just looking at, if the chapter as well can help us, in terms of helping us in terms of identifying some of the stakeholders, and also just also equipping, the members that will be, joining in. For instance, if guys from Joburg as well with their, skill set, if we host the events, they can come as well and just, facilitate with us. And yeah, so if there's capacity for you guys as well to be joining hands with us, not just only just doing the events by ourselves here in Durban as well. So we need all the expertise that we can to grow the chapter, especially in Durban as well, and also the members within Internet South Africa as well. So yeah, those are the things that we envisage for now. And yeah, some of the things that we'll be doing as well, we'll be sharing with the secretary, and we yeah can be populated within our group as well. Just if you want to join our group as well, we'll share as well the the link on that. And then yeah, I'm not sure if Nomalungelo will want to add something as well, but based that you had interest, especially in tech bridge before, well, disable and to admit as well. Nomalungelo, are you all
Yeah,
right?
I'm here. I'm so sorry about that. Good morning. Um, I'm just not sure if I got what you were asking me, so I'm trying to catch up, and something just disturbed me. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I was sharing that you can share maybe a few things that you envisaged. Remember when you spoke about Tech Bridge as well as the ISOC clubs that you also looking at establishing in Richards Bay, and yeah, so some of the things. Because since you've joined us last year as well, you've been looking at how we are running things, especially when it comes to events that were done in DUT and the meetings that you've joined as well, looking at what we shared with TechBridge when our treasurer was sharing the importance of the project as well.
Okay, yes, I can. Thank you so much. I've been trying to do most of the courses online. I believe that it was said that we need to do at least some of the courses that will run from December to January, the ones based on TechBridge. And then as we continue with the our meetings, I'm sure I will get a go ahead of how everything will roll out for the new project. But I've also started trying to put together the team and the ECD centers, because I could tell that it's mostly ECD and childhood development that can greatly benefit from this initiative. So I've tried making a database and locating where we could have the first stop of this exciting project. But I will ask that you um, assist and guide me and lead me as well, because I am learning as I attend these meetings as well. So I would greatly appreciate um, the, 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 the teachings and the mentorship, so that everything falls into place. I don't like disappointments. I don't want my work to be floppy as well. I should deliver to the best of my ability, making it a success. Thank you.
No, thank you so much. So yes, that is one of our members as well in KZN. Just looking at what we are aiming to do, especially because she's not in the central district where I am, but is within the province. So those are other things that we are looking at establishing and making sure that they are well delivered by the chapter to move into areas where internet so South Africa will actually be more fruitful as well. Sort of like having a sock clubs, on different schools organizations, and yeah, just partnering and making sure that all that we've set out to do will be done in accordance to the the support that we have from the chapter as a whole. So yeah, thank you so much for just allowing me to share what we have in Devon. And yeah, we're looking forward to just working with all of you as well. And if you have anything to share as well, anything to ask, yes, as you shared some of the links, especially with our WhatsApp group, you can, yeah, chat to us as well, and as well as the secretary and Koreshan as well, just for, joining forces as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mondli. You know, this session, we started it a bit backwards. For the purpose of the recording, I'm just going to ask that each and everyone, while you're on Mondli, we do a small introduction of who we are and what we do, what we specialize in, what we are passionate about. And then we'll move into other questions. But for now, let's do that intro. So we'll start with you and then all the other people online, and I'll go last. Thank you.
All right, thank you. My name is Mondli Mungo, and I'm based in Devon. I'm a member of the Internet South Africa chapter. I'm a technical administrator, mostly consulting and website development, as well as training online, digitally. And yeah, I have a passion, to just, make sure I advocate for the internet and everyone connects, and also and they, use this particular tool to the best of their ability. Thank you.
Morning. My name is Nomalungelo Kabinde. I'm based in Ghana. I'm a member of Internet Society South African chapter. I'm passionate about rural development, community development. I've mostly operated in the training and skills development. So I believe that I'm a catalyst for change in the communities. Thank you so much.
Guys, anybody else who's online? Stembiso, Kopano, Ignatius.
All right, I think I'll have a go at it. I just need to see if I'm allowed to show myself here. Yeah, my name is Kopano Ramashala. I'm also a chapter member of Internet South Africa, based in Johannesburg. I am a founder and managing director of a company called Bakwena Telecommunications, which is an internet service provider, as well as a company that deals with network construction and planning, from your wireless networks to your fiber networks and home networks, business networks, etc., etc. So my passion is just getting people connected. That's number one, at the lowest cost possible, and having them utilize the technology and the internet for their advantage, so they can either learn and also get themselves away from the current social ills that we all know that we are facing, as well as to be able to put food on the table now and in the future for themselves and for their families. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kopano. Letitia, I'm sorry, I didn't notice that your mic was finally on. You can maybe do your intro also.
G'day all. My name is Letitia Rousseau. I'm an Internet Society South Africa member now for the past come 2 years. I also do data analytics and background analytics for the Internet Society website, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Ignatius?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ignatius Kibiti. I am currently a student in YEM and also embarking in the Internet Society chapter and other courses that they're doing in TechBridge also. So I'm basically still learning about all of these things which are really intriguing me and I have huge interest in. And yeah, I'm looking forward to learning, looking forward to growing as an individual and as a young person. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Stembiso.
Hi everyone, my name is Tim Sakagaza. I'm the founder of YEM Online Education, and I'm also part of the Internet Society South African chapter. I'm also part of the board member of the South African Internet Governance. And yeah, I also work hand in hand with your Google South Africa in terms of exposing young people into different fields. And yeah, thank you so much. And looking forward in working with all of you guys. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Stembiso. Kopano, I see your hand up.
No, I did not have a hand up. I was just reacting.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, so my name is Godishang Tswani. I'm the Secretary for Internet Society South Africa chapter. I am also a regular member of the chapter. I've been a member of the chapter for almost a decade now. Same goes for Stay and other members here. I run a company called Vumex Interactive Media that specializes in web development, graphic design, ICT consulting, and providing training, online training, and so forth. Also glad to be here and excited to be working with the team from KZN. Yeah, I think that wraps up the intro part. So I would say, guys, this session it's not a real formal session. It's a session where we can share ideas, have questions, and ask, because that's the purpose of the open day. If there's something that's unclear or something you need answers for or need clarity on certain things, please let's use this session to the fullest. It's now 10 to 11. Maybe we could get out of this session was marked until 12. We could wrap it up by 11:30. But the most important thing is to find out what the members and the people of KZN want. What are the challenges over and above what the chapter and the resources that can come through the chapter, whether it's financial or human capital or skills sharing, skills development, skills transfer. What are the challenges you guys are facing in KZN? This is a meeting where you can bring this to the front so that we can take it into the executive meeting and it can be taken into account when they plan for 2025, 2026. So I'm going to hand it back to Mondli and Norma to tell us what they are going through in KZN, how they want to see things improve, or any suggestions, and so that we can help strengthen their efforts.
Thank you, Kodishang. It's Norma on the line. I believe that we, as a member, first things first, I need to create awareness in communities about the chapter, which of course we can't have for especially the site. We can't have your online sessions with the community. I need to have like your direct contact sessions. So I'm not sure if it would be possible to be assisted to run your awareness programs first. Like for instance, have just one day of most probably I'd get your slides to actually run a 1 day kind of awareness program day about the whole organization. Let them know who we are, what we intend to do. Most probably do it in 3 or 4 areas. Because if you tell people to come online and this is what you intend, it's difficult because we really don't have network. I think the whole of December, all our lines were down. Vodacom, MTN, the only people that survived were people with Wi-Fi. Nakhona hlampe 3 households from where I am, speaking from where I am. So I'm not sure if we'd be assisted in that area. first to try and, you know, get that in place, then see what the next thing is. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Norma. While on that, so Tembiso is itching because he's our marketing and awareness press guru in the executive. So stay, I'll leave the floor to you now.
Right. Thank you so much, Kodishang. I think, Kodishang, one of the things that I'm suggesting we need to do for each and every club, ISO club in all the provinces, what we need to do is that we need to do train the train program, whereby we introduce what is ISOC, what are the opportunities that we have under ISOC, what are the courses and other opportunities that we have. But I think with the train the trainer program, if we can come up with the train the train program for each and every club in all 9 provinces, it will make things easier for each and every club or for each and every member in each and every province to, you know, do or start doing activities or programs around activities that we have under Internet Society South Africa. Thanks.
And I think I'm also going to put it back to you and Norma, Stay. I think you should also coordinate with Mondli. The issue that Norma raised, it's a serious one because you need funding to do awareness, marketing, and so forth. So we need to see how much of a percentage from the chapter admin fund we can use for that. We need to also see if we can't apply for a beyond the net to have this awareness program rolled out, because you cannot come to a community to set up a community network if you haven't done awareness on what the technology is, especially rural communities where they haven't been interfacing and coming across these solutions. You know what I mean? You need to do the groundwork. And I think, Norma, please correct me if I'm wrong. Her thing is about how do we get the groundwork done with people that don't have access to internet? It means we must do in-person events. To be able to do in-person events, you need material, you need funding, you need catering to be able to do it. And also, in some cases, you need some money to be able to book a hall and so forth and so forth. I think this is something where Stembiso, Norma, Mondli, you need to come together and drop a plan for KZN to say that this is KZN. We want to do X amount of in-person awareness events. This is the campaign we are going to run. This is potentially how much we are going to need to be able to achieve this, so that this can go back to the executive as something that is a need under KZN, because you can't grow members for the chapter in that province without doing what Nomalungelo wants to do with the in-person events and awareness. And at the same time, that is why we nominated KZN to be one of the provinces where we start doing community networks again. So it would be good, in actual fact, to do an awareness campaign way before the community network comes in. Kopan, I don't know, what's your take on that? You've rolled out community networks before and dealt with outlying communities and stuff like that. What's your take on that? And then after that, Monty, I saw your hand. Kopano? All right, Mondli, go ahead while we wait on Kopano, maybe to sort his line.
Yeah, I think yes, doing awareness project or awareness events is one of the key things, since I've alluded that when we do events, even in a DUT, we don't get the type of, you know, the type of attendees that are most, you know, aligned to what we're doing. And yeah, for us to have strong, organizing group as well within KZN. It needs people to understand exactly what the chapter is all about, what it's doing. So basically, this will be the first step, in terms of forming those stakeholder partnership with different stakeholders that we have identified to strengthen, where we cannot reach. I think it's very important as well, because of the internet connection, like Manumalungu was saying, that sometimes you don't have, you might speak to a school and they might not have the facilities to put, people in one room to join in online. But yes, when you go there physically, having those, presentations, and they can get to understand and maybe have a one-to-one conversation more easily than being online. But yeah, so I think it's a positive step. I think it's one of the key things to grow the chapter and to grow membership as well. And not just having people who just coming into the events based on maybe the benefits that they might get, at the end. But also to have role players who, help us, move quicker as well. Thanks.
Okay. Sembiso and then Kopano.
All right. Thank you so much, Kodishang, once again. So, Kodishang, this is what I have in mind. I was hoping that the lady from Mercedes-Benz was available to our meeting. Remember that document that we did to do skills development around 9 provinces? We can include the program for the ISSAC clubs for each and every province. As we are going that side, we can run that program through the project under the Mercedes-Benz project, then include Google South Africa to come on board with Google Education to partner with us. So that's my suggestion. I will share the document with Umondli so that we can start seeing that how best we can include them into this program that we have already engaged Mercedes-Benz South Africa. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Kopano, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like you guys to catch me up. I only heard the beginning of what Nomalungelo was mentioning, and I just stepped back in just after you were calling my name. I needed to attend something quickly. So can you just refresh me on what you needed my input on?
Okay, Kopano. Nomalungelo mentioned in-person events, and she mentioned the need for that because in some cases the people don't have internet. And I also mentioned that awareness is key before you go in to do a network, so that the community can be sensitized and they know to say exactly what you are bringing to them, how they benefited, and also because they are the key stakeholders that must take care of the infrastructure and help it grow and help it scale and sustain the network. They need to be on board from day one. Sembiso was talking about initiatives that involve Mercedes-Benz, Google, and other social media players so that we can beef up the ISSAC clubs and do train the trainer initiative across all 9 provinces. That also talks to what Nomalungelo was talking about awareness. The reason why I wanted to bring you in was to say maybe you could shed some light about your experience when it comes down to working with outlying communities and deploying internet infrastructure with them. What are the challenges that you faced? What are the pitfalls that the team from KZN can avoid when dealing with this community network? I am aware that you are in contact with Mondli and the team that side, but for the purpose of this meeting, what would you like them to look out for and to avoid or to do better, so that when we minute this and we take it forward, we can build it into some of the suggestions and comments for this KZN initiative we're going to be doing. in the second quarter. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kudishan. Basically, some of the pitfalls of rolling out a community network is the biggest factor is community engagement and who you engage in the community, as well as if they understand what you're doing. What I've seen is some communities, you do speak to a specific community leader, or in some areas, there's a tribal council. You communicate with them what you'd like to bring to the community and how it will benefit them. They agree with you and it's all good. But closer to the time of you wanting to actually set up that network, maybe they go and speak to other people with regards to what you trying to bring to the community, and they end up seeing dollar signs. You know what I mean? As we are aware of the state of the country that you live in, some people would like you to basically make it worthwhile for them to agree for you to bring a community network to the community. So those are some of the things that we realize. So it's best to actually be thorough and detailed in your explanation when you are speaking to community leaders, to say, this is for the benefit of you and your leaders and your community, excuse me. And it's not really for monetary benefit. Yes, there will be skills benefits and skills transfers, and there will be a few community people from the community that will be, appointed and trained and allowed to work when the actual network is being set up. And those people in the long term will need to be the ones that will maintain the actual network itself. So it's not everyone that can be employed, and even with the few that can be employed, won't be employed full time. But with their community supporting the network and using it and expanding it, it can actually end up being a commercial type of vehicle that will be able to aid some community members to find employment. And with others, they'll reap the benefits of having the community network within the community itself. So that's the biggest thing that I've seen as an issue. Everything else in terms of deployment and all of that, it's not too much of an issue. I guess the education factor, it's paramount. Educating the stakeholders in terms of the community leaders, and also educating the community before as well as after the network has been rolled out. Before, giving them an idea of what they stand to benefit, how it's going to work, and then after, how to actually use it, from your 5-year-old to your 60-year-old, trying to educate them how to use the network itself. And it's also paramount to try and use the actual language that's been spoken within the actual community to bring across those messages. I think that works out better in that sense. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Kopano, for that. You know what I mean? Please don't send me the invoice for that consulting, because I know it comes from years and years of working with these communities. But yeah, so yeah, Nomalungelo, your hand is up. Go ahead.
Thank you, Kodishan. I think what Kopano has said, it's very true. Once you get it right at the beginning, then everything falls into place. I've worked a lot with communities, and he's very right. There's also certain influences that come into play because they want to take the shine for the work that you're doing within a community. But it's very important that you make the community itself, but not the leader, feel that it's their project as well. It's their work. They should take care of it. I mean, if you come in with the network and they ruin it, it's their problem. If you come in with something as big as this while they are struggling, then it's a problem. But another thing that I was thinking about, I think I'm not sure if we'd create most probably a survey. I'm not sure if survey, just to find out. That would also assist us on most probably speeding up, you know, even when we're trying to get these funders to hop in, it would give us a clear picture of seeing how crucial or critical we need these services for the people in our communities in KZN specifically. So I think a survey would play an important role in supporting the work that we intend to do for our groundwork to be possible. Because if you take it, most probably, let me make an example. I get the survey, most probably print it, because I know they're not going to do it. If they can do it online, they can go to a school, give it to the teenagers. They're going to answer exactly. I know of a school that doesn't have computers at all, so it would really play a great deal in inviting other stakeholders to the party. That was my thought right now as Kopano was speaking. Thank you.
Kopano, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, no, I just wanted to
I'm
comment
sorted.
on what Nomalungelo has been saying. The survey, it would be paramount to do hand in hand with obviously communicating the message of Internet South Africa and its benefits, and why I would like certain individuals within the community to join, to be members, those that are obviously technologically inclined and have an interest in the internet and everything that revolves around it. So it would be good to actually have that survey. It would work to our advantage when obviously also pitching for the funding. But I guess in terms of the funding and everything, Kodishang will go more into detail when we go over the funding element on the website itself and the requirements thereof. So that's all I wanted to add. And I just would like to excuse myself. I need to dash. So I'll just finish off this meeting via the recording, and anything else I will communicate via the WhatsApp groups. Thank you very much for your time, everyone.
Thank you very much, Kopano. Yeah. So moving before we move into the funding stuff, we spoke about the awareness needs and the campaigns and the survey before sending in our application for the community network. But are there any other things, any other challenges you guys are facing in KZN that we should bring to the forefront? This is directed straight to you, Mondli and Nomalungelo. I know that you need more branding, you need more t-shirts, uniforms, you need more funding. If there was a way I could wave a magic wand for you guys to get a satellite office going at DUT where you have computers and everything, and maybe a small vehicle so that you can go around doing the work that you're doing. But then let's hear. This is a platform where we can also dream aloud and say, this is what we want for our province.
Yeah, other than that, mostly is to make sure that the chapter is well represented, and we have, footing on the ground. We have the buy-in from, the municipalities, the areas that we have identified. Logistically, yes, some of the areas are very far, but also, just making sure that our communication is well received in the simplest way, where when we are, engaging with communities and leaders, the chapter itself is seen or is embraced in a positive manner, Yeah. Other than office, space, the base where we would like to have, a film foundation where people can find us. I think that's one of the most important things that we can, talk about as well. Yeah, I think, that's it.
Nomalungelo, is there anything else you want to mention besides awareness that you feel to say that needs to be addressed for the KZN team?
No, I think everything has been said. It was that that the groundwork needs to be done, and I think you did mention the branding, marketing, and yes, we need to tap into the municipalities. I think we've mentioned a lot. Nothing for me to add.
Okay, Monthly, I think maybe we should look into reestablishing that relationship with the team of Chris Papas and everybody else and try to identify people that we can work with so that we need to come up with a date. There's a reason why I put up the calendar and I'm sharing this screen of the calendar before I'm sharing the one of the funding stuff. It is now 12 minutes past 11. With that said, this is how it is going to go. In this January, if you can all see my screen, there's 2 applications that are going to go out from us, right? Obviously, now they need 8 weeks. Whenever you apply anything at the foundation, full flux, they need 8 weeks to review. That means some stuff are going to be kicking off here in April. When they kick off here in April, in this same January, we need to say that once the community network funding is up, it's open for funding. We send something in here. But then I wanted what is going to happen during the month of March, February, and March. It would be good to identify at least one day where we can come down, me and Stembiso at least, to speak over the marketing stuff and to meet some of the stakeholders. This is something that I think I'll present to the executive to say that we need to identify a day within these months. So I'm going to ask the KZN team again to say, is it strategic for us to come in March after the dust has settled for going back to school and everybody's fully in their offices? Can we come in March and try to also be there with you when you do stakeholder meetings? Like maybe we can do a 2-day thing where we visit DUT, where we visit some municipal people, where we visit some influential people here, and then at the same time try to get some ISPs and lay groundwork for the community network that might roll out in April or May. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Stanley, so what do you think? Stanley, so? He we might have lost him there for a second, but we'll get feedback from Monday. I think maybe we can. Oh yeah, there he is.
I'm sorry about that.
I was saying we need to
I couldn't
do.
hear. I couldn't hear.
Let me repeat.
Yeah.
I said we should maybe identify between February or March, but I'm leaning more on March. 2 days
Okay.
that we can go into KZN, meet with the DUT team, meet with some of the councillors, try to meet with some ISPs, and maybe do a session with the team in KZN when it comes down to the materials and the training and the recruiting for the chapter. Maybe go down having some branding stuff for them too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. That's perfect.
And after that,
Let's do it. Yeah, I think
just lay the
March will
groundwork.
be good.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so that they can also get support before going in to go do surveys for the community networks. I would have loved to apply for the community network stuff here in January, but I think maybe we still will get feedback from our executive meeting and say maybe is that application going throughout in Feb maybe, but keep in mind that there's an 8-week cool down period before anything you get any feedback or whatever happens, you know what I mean? But then, yeah, that's why I was sharing this calendar to say we need to go out for a few days between us and Mondley and the team in the West in KZN. Let's just try to see how we can make this possible by, like, maybe you speak to the team at Mercedes-Benz ahead of time. Mondley and I speak to DUT. Nomalungelo speaks to 1 or 2 community leaders there in Nkandla where we want to drop the network. And then we also speak to a few ISPs down there because we are going to be doing the internet service provider training. So it would be advisable for someone who's on the KZN team to also attend this ISP training. Because once you are armed with the information from the ISP training, it's very easy now to come in and do the community network stuff. And I think I'll share the links to the community network courses once they're open. And then introduction to network operations and the advanced course of that, so that once the team have that information, they have their own internal skills to manage this community network that might be coming their way. Trying to see if I can't move this thing ever so slightly. I want to get to the funding page. There we go. You still can see the screen, right? I'm on the funding areas for Internet Society Foundation. Can you see the screen? Mondley, can you see the screen I'm sharing?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let me zoom in a bit more. Okay, so fine. These are some of the funding areas that they have. There's the BOLT grant, which is the Building Opportunities and Leveraging Technologies grant. This is normally something I would say, like, there's a lot of competition here, and it's open to other NGOs and individuals. So this is not a chapter only application. You have the Resiliency Grant Program, which is providing support, for communities prepared for reconnection. Maybe let's say you deploy a community network and there's a natural disaster that happens or something, and you need to go back to go fix the network. You can then apply for a resiliency grant. And then there's also the research grant, which deals into research topics that are aligned with the Internet Society and their values. And then you have the skills grant, which is strengthening communities and improving livelihoods grant program, which expands on economic opportunities, educational opportunities. A grant like this is a grant that you'd put in place once a network is up. But more importantly, these are the chapter-based grants beyond the net grant program. So what they did, there's no more beyond the net small, beyond the net large. It's just one beyond the net. And then they gave it a certain amount. And then you can deal with that one as a chapter. And then there's a chapter admin fund. And of course, the Internet Governance Forum that is open to the chapters. And the Global Encryption Day that is also open to the chapters. More importantly, the team in KZN, we are looking at connecting the unconnected. So let me rather open this one. So when it comes to connecting the unconnected program, the objective is to strengthen communities and local initiatives that are connecting the unconnected, meaning to say initiatives like ours, develop new innovative solutions for internet to reach rural and isolated and low-income areas. So they're not just putting it out for rural areas only. They are also considering when you're deploying in low-income areas that can't afford the current internet prices that are servicing them. So The focus areas is building new complementary access solutions, meaning to say we can't make the community network free. We can make it affordable. And in some cases, we can find different funding models, whether it's funded through local initiatives, government, or through, and now I'm talking about backhaul and keeping the network up, or through advertising and so forth. There's many ways, creative ways to keep a network up. And then you can also get funding for expanding existing complementary solutions. And then, of course, the eligibility for this is a organization, so we could still apply for it as a chapter. We can apply for it through an NGO or an implementing partner. And then basically, we need support from the local community that will benefit. You see, this is one key point that you must have. So we need to identify the organization that's going to run with it. Of course, it's going to be a chapter-led thing. But then the support of the local community needs to be documented and they need to be part of this thing. And then after that, have a sustainability plan in place for the infrastructure so that it can stay operational in long term. And then after that, have a goal of connecting the local infrastructure to the internet. So we're not making an intranet, which is a localized network. We need to make sure we connect to the internet. That's where the backhaul is coming in. Partnerships with Connect SA, Broadband in Franco, ISSAC, and the likes will come into play to just reduce that backhaul cost, and local businesses, of course. So right now there are two application windows. There's one that's going to open on the 4th of February and closes on the 31st of March. And then there's another window that opens on the 15th of July till the 27th of August. Now, when it comes down to the when we are going to apply, we can only come back to the team after next week, say next week, Thursday or Friday, to say which window are we going to utilize. Are we using the February window? Remember, this February window, when we apply, we need to, by then, have the support from the local community. That's why I was saying that it might be strategic for us to come up or come down to KZN from Gauteng to help with this point, so that if we are submitting on the 31st of March, all these bullet points are done. But if we choose to submit inside of this window, that means we've got our work cut out for ourselves between February and March. If we do July and August, that means network implementation will probably be October, November, because maybe the money comes in September, you need 2 months to implement. And then after that, October, November, December, you break for the holiday season. So they do mention to say that, please note that this process can take up to 10 weeks. Like I said, 8 weeks, 10 weeks. So it's a long haul. Give it 2.5 months to fully be done. So the criteria is a clear and visible need for the suggested infrastructure. That's why we need to go into the community to get this. Because when we go there, it's not only about giving out surveys and explaining, it's about documenting the place. It's about finding out their needs. It's about doing maybe a network topology plan and looking into the deployment plan, doing the line of sight and seeing how we can deploy, is it feasible and so forth. And then after that, a clear identified person or organization responsible for carrying out the duties. Of course, we're going to do it as the chapter, and the chapter has members, so we can come up with a planner for that. And then proven support for local communities that will benefit. Again, they're going back to the community thing. We need to get them to be part of this. And then the sustainability plan also is a marking point for us, and the goal of connecting to the internet, and a project plan that lasts up to 2 years. So we need to have all of this in place. And then after that, that's why I said we need to go in there and find local technology partners general businesses and so forth, and to groom technical skills within the community. I'm looking at you, Mondli. I'm looking at you, Nomalungelo, to start doing those network operator introduction courses, those community network courses, so that as key people who are leading this process, you can say that you have these certificates and these things from the chapter already. Available local social infrastructure. Nomalungelo, you mentioned schools, I'm sure there's libraries and hospitals and so forth. The reason for this is so that you don't have to erect a high site from the ground. You can piggyback from the highest infrastructure, whether it's a hospital or a school, and put up a 12-meter pole and put your sectors and everything else from there. So most importantly now, what we've been waiting on now is diving into the funding. So if you are building a new complementary network, we can apply for anything between 15,000 to 40,000 USD to get the job done. When you are expanding or improving an existing network, you can apply between 5,000 to 20,000 USD, excuse me. So this is the scale that we are working under, depending on the network plan, the equipment, the execution, the maintenance, and so forth. It will judge how much of between these two amounts we apply for. And of course, application, they do have a budget, work plan, equipment support request template that you can use for resources. And of course, there's reporting that is done via the Flux platform. As it stands, I did go over the application window, and once we get our ducks in a row in a subsequent call, we can then come back to decide to say that which application window are we going for? Are we going for this one, the first window, or are we going for the second window? Let's see if I can go back to the other funding areas quickly. Okay, so after that, you have the sustainable peering infrastructure. This is targeted mostly at IXPs or building internet exchange point, and then the technical communities. Once you have done a connecting the unconnected and the infrastructure is there, you can then look into things like the sustainable technical communities. You can look into things like the skills program and the BOLT grant to build on top of the infrastructure that you have in place. Let me just grab this link and I'm gonna put it in the chat right here. So that's the link to the funding areas. Folks, from my side, that's all I wanted to touch on. I don't know if there's any questions, any suggestions, any things that you might have thought about while I was going through the funding areas. Yeah, the floor is open for anyone who has any questions or comments or suggestions. Okay, if there's not gonna be anything, feel free to, if you think of something after this meeting, I'm sharing my email, which is secretary at Internet Society.co.za. Feel free to drop me an email there if you think of something after this meeting or while watching the recording, and then we'll see how best we can upline it and make sure that it's in front of the eyes and ears of the executive committee members for the chapter. With that said, I want to hand back to Mondli and Nomalungelo to do our closing for the Internet Society South Africa chapter KwaZulu-Natal Open Day 2025. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all the presentations and to the different participants that have gathered here for the KZN meeting. I believe that we can make a success out of what we intend to roll out for the province and South Africa as a whole. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate. And yes, to more and more and more change and good working vibes. I'm just grateful for the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for a fruitful meeting, our opening day for KZN. Yeah, we are grateful for the inputs and also, the discussions around supporting the chapter going forward and what needs to be done. I know from all of us and with all these heads and the strengths and also the different areas of skills, we can make this 2025 thrive, and as well as do mostly what is needed for us as well. Thank you, Horishang and Stembiso, and all of you guys. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Mondli, and I'd like to thank everybody that attended. This recording will be shared in due course on YouTube, and some of these outcomes and the things that you raised, I believe Mondli will be having a spot to share them as an executive member who's based out in KZN in our next executive meeting, and myself and Stembiso will also share some of the inputs that other members put in. And please have a lovely day. And if we don't meet again as a chapter, have a lovely weekend. And then Mondli will surely provide feedback on the outcomes of the things that were mentioned today in the WhatsApp group for the ISSAC KwaZulu-Natal members. So again, thank you very much. Enjoy your day. And with that said, I will end the recording and close the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Hi
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Good.
Thank you.
Week.
Bye. Enjoy the day.